So that now multiple agents are orchestrating on one problem. Now you have each agent with 1 million tokens in their brain to think about the problem.
But the moment you want to create a real product, it's not only about the functionality of that product, but everything that goes around shipping that product to market. You need a bank, you need an actual business, because otherwise you're going to get hammered on taxes later on.
Technological basis is definitely a big leap. As you know, the biggest thing with AI is this idea of context. And context is, until you pointed it out, I was just quietly coding away.
Welcome to the From the Future podcast. I am your host, Manny Hernandez, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Carlos Nevarez. Carlos, say what's up.
What's up?
Each week, we cut through the noise on technology, AI, crypto, and financial markets, and the signals that most people miss until it's too late. Today, we're covering how Anthropic turned AI into a workforce, not a tool. Why AI panic wipes billions of software stocks overnight, and how Anthropic declares war on AI ads and accidentally also on big tech. And what was Sam Altman's response to Anthropic's Superbowl ads? We're going to cover all that and more. We're going to also be talking about how the screen is dying and voice is the next interface war. Amazon Web Services quietly tightens its grip on the AI economy, and Google is going silent after it closes a deal with Apple. I'm not sure what's up about that, but you worry not, because we are going to break down what the headlines says, what it actually means, and why it matters for your future. So no hype, no fluff, just clear signals from the future. Let's get into it. Carlos, my man, did you know
Ready to go, man?
Did you know that the markets are in shambles right now?
Until you pointed it out, I was just quietly coding away.
Oh, my man, we're about to see how everything is going down. Hence the title of our first episode, Rip to the SaaS, the software as a service business model may be having some issues. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. But first, let's see what's happening here. And let's look at what is happening in the world of AI, because Anthropic just released Opus 4.6. And it has this new feature that, everybody's going crazy about, which is agent teams. And basically, what it means is that instead of one agent working through tasks sequentially like it used to do, you can split your work across multiple agents that can work in parallel, each of one coordinating and working on one piece of the task. So as you can tell, or as you can imagine, the social media is going crazy about this release, and we got people having opinions, mixed opinions about this. I wanted to show you two little videos to see what do you think about all these new agentic releases that you seem to see everybody going around. Let's check this video from my boy Alex Finn and see what he thinks about this release. No.
Opus 4.6 just dropped, and it is a historic leap for AI. It gives new capabilities to both Claude Bot and Claude Code that will completely change how you use these tools.
Well, that's basically what he thinks. That's basically what he thinks. He thinks it's the best thing since Coca-Cola. He thinks it's a new leap, right? But then you got people like this guy.
4.6 is an embarrassing release. I've been playing with this model since yesterday. It feels like it's the same model, but just the instructions have changed. Be more deliberate.
Oh my God, you can tell me, man, how I've been playing with it since yesterday, and I already can tell you what it is, bro. You didn't even give it a chance, right? So what do you think, man? What do you think is happening here? Is it something that is worth? Is a new leap, or is just hype?
No, I think that on a technological basis, it's definitely a big leap. As you know, the biggest thing with AI is this idea of context. And context is how AIs remember from one thing to the next. And so the bigger the context buffer, the more instructions you can put into that brain before it forgets. So with a million tokens in the buffer, it's like hours and hours of cranking on any of these AIs. So it definitely pushes the limit into what it can do. And then with what they call orchestration, right? So that now multiple agents are orchestrating on one problem. Now you have each agent with 1 million tokens in their brain to think about the problem.
But how will that affect your pockets?
So that's where the problem is, right? Now you have 5 things hitting your tokens at the same time.
At the same time, I mean, Anthropic is about to make a lot of money.
A lot of money, and a lot of people aren't going to realize that they're just burning tokens.
At the end of the day, but you can definitely do some quite cool things with it. I have seen some of the stuff that is coming out. Check this out. For example, let me see if I can. Oh no, I need to get to the window. So you can see some of the stuff. Like, look at this little website. I thought it was really cool, and that person was able to one-shot it, right? So the future is definitely going to get really amazing going forward. But the thing is, where are these things going to take us? Because like that guy was saying, for the person that doesn't know code, this is amazing, right? It feels like magic. But for the seniors, right, the developers, the and engineers who have been for decades coming up, that know, what is, the securities, and know what it takes to have a truly scale app, because that, I think, seems to be the biggest problem right now. Anybody can vibe code an app, but then
yes,
it's going to become the marketplace of ideas. I can see that already happening, as you can see.
Very much
about who has the best idea, but then there's going to be a disconnect. I'm able to code an app, but the moment that app does something I don't like, I don't even understand the code. I don't even know what a semicolon is in the code, or not me. I do, but most people that are vibe coding, because they just have the idea, right?
Yes.
Or we had the idea and we had to hire the developer then get the developer to understand the idea. That alone was a task, right?
Yes.
Then getting a product to completion is much faster. You can iterate, you can code, but then when it comes to shipping products that others can use, that's a whole different ball game. How do you scale?
It's still a little bit of a trick to take technology into a product, right? We can build. You and I build technologies all the time that are not products, right? You need how do you charge for it? Do I get a Stripe? Do I get who do I get to take the money, and how does that translate into receipts and invoices and stuff like that the business runs on, so that when the customer buys something from your app and they don't get it, how do you go back to figure out what the hell went wrong, right? And so this is where business models and technological models and everything get together to form a product, and where most people don't think about that. It's not even about security.
Well, that is the biggest issue, because one thing is I have several little apps that I have that are for my personal use, little utilities that help me with my day-to-day, but I know those are not products. I don't treat them as such, right?
Right.
But the moment you want to create a real product, it's not only about the functionality of that product, but everything that goes around shipping that product to market. You need a bank, you need an actual business, because otherwise you're going to get hammered on taxes later on.
That's right.
Now you're going to capture some customer data. So now all this data has to be put in a database. That database has to be secure and safeguard, because now it's not your data. Well, somebody steals my stuff, but now you're dealing with other people's data. If you are connecting into something like Stripe, do you also have some of the credit card data, ability to charge those cards? So now the responsibility starts to go higher. That if any of these things were to go down, whether it's through hacking or else, then it's on you. That's
It's your
what
liability. That's right. Your liability.
that's why most people don't realize that. Yeah, it's all fun and games when you're building stuff for you, but the moment you want to ship something out there, that's you need enterprise grade servers. You need real security behind it, and you need a real business plan, right?
Well, I think you hit it. Like a lot of people, they're going to want to sell recurring revenue stuff. They want to sell subscriptions to something. And that means that somebody has to store something in the back end so they can hit the credit card again. And how do you make sure that that's not stolen from you? I mean, think about it. It's gotten stolen from the credit card companies themselves. And now you have these people that have no clue how to build something like that in the back end, putting them out on cloud databases because they use Replete or some other vibe coder that puts it in an open database.
And that's why I like stuff like what some of our teams that we're involved with are building for example, at Deving, where it's built for vibe coders, but it's meant to be deployed like an enterprise. It's meant to think about all this extra stuff that is needed for you to launch a true product out there. And I'm not gonna show much because it's not ready. These are some of the projects that some of our technical teams are working in the back, which we know are going to help with the scaling issue. That's a big problem because you have a great idea, you vibe code a little app, all of a sudden you have 5,000 customers in that app, and your server is crashing every 5 minutes, and you don't even know why, because you are a vibe coder. You're not a quote unquote real coder, right? So that's why
you're not a computer scientist that went to school for a lot of years to learn what to look for, right? And let me step back a little bit into where you started, which is the Anthropic versus OpenAI discussion. You know, for me, you have ChatGPT, which is building for the masses, and you have Anthropic, which is really building more for the enterprise, for the coders, for the institutions. So to me, when they're sitting there fighting at each other, it's sort of an irrelevant conversation because you're talking about two different kinds of business models going at each other, and they don't even intersect really. The people that are going to use Anthropic and can take advantage of its features are not the same people like, you know, my mom that is sitting there talking to ChatGPT half the day. So I think that's one. The second piece is, and the one that leads to the next, because we're going to talk about it, is that there are new types of AI coming up that also try to address this issue of context and enhancing the context. When you think about the way that Anthropic is fixing it, to me, it's called brute forcing it. I'm just going to put bigger brain, more tokens, and then they can handle more. But there's an elegant way to do it, which is how some of the current guys that you're going to talk about a little bit further in the show are doing it by doing swarms. Instead of having one large thing with a whole bunch of stuff, you create a whole bunch of little things that attack it. And this is where deving comes in, because we built it as a bunch of little guys that attack the problem in parallel, that sit there and synchronize in the back, that they don't store state, do all kinds of amazing things. And that's really what causes the thing to scale. The fact that you have this swarm of processing that's taking care of the problem, instead of just saying, give me more memory, and it's going to hit the conversation that we hit at the end about resources, you know?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about optimizing resources. That's why we even see DeepSeek with the new OCR tech about, it's all about, there's a race right now about memory, right? And while the focus it's for some of the focus on the billing is on tokens, where the real margin is going to come for money of these companies. It doesn't, whether it's a vibe coding app, whether it's a model like Claude, or whether it's something like Deving, is that they're going to offer cheap token packages, but as they optimize the memory side, their margins will increase under the hood. And actually, that's going to be even reflected only during earning calls. It will be even maybe boring. They don't want people to understand that side, whereas chips get better, or the memory issue becomes new technologies arrive where I see where we're going into a more context. You can have all the knowledge, but for this task, I only need this knowledge. The real problem right now is like, you're giving it a plumber's task, but it's also using all the electrician knowledge. And then you're like, but I ask you just to fill the plumbing issue. Why do you have in your context window all the information about the electrician? It's like, yeah, because this is what being a blue collar, right, contractor entails. Like, for that level of optimization is what is going to take us to the next place. But at the end of the day, the real problem that I see is the marketplace of ideas, like I was explaining. So now everybody feels like a coder. It feels like, when Rock Band came around and people got behind their guitar, you actually feel like you're touching.
I felt like I was playing.
Right?
Yeah.
So people are having that kind of feeling, but it extrapolates because now you can actually see and touch it, and you run it, and it works while it's for you, right? So now you go to places like Upwork, and everybody's looking, how can I scale my app, right? And that's when the distributed services that you were speaking about come here to solve that problem, having orchestration and having multiple agents tackling the problem. But not only that, it's also when we go to the deployment side, where everything is deployed in a distributed enterprise-ready way, so that if it runs for you, it should run for everybody who also tries that app. That is what I think is going to be the key innovation that makes this tool separate itself from the pack. But enough about that. Let's talk about how the market is going bananas right now. My man, since the release of Opus 4.6, the software, that's why we put the title, right? RIP the SaaS model. Because while everybody's thinking about vibe coding an app that they can hopefully sell to others, right? I'm gonna be the next SaaS, right, developer. The reality is that in 2 or 3 years, most people, especially 40 years and below, young people, moreover, more than anybody, they will know that whatever they want to make, they can code it, right?
Right.
So, right now, for example, all the legal softwares, all the legal Zoom, and all the stuff that is legal is going down, and it's taking the whole market. That's what this article is all about. That there's a software stock sell-off, and it's not just that there's a software stock sell-off. It's that it's taking the whole market is down. Bitcoin is down. Ethereum is down. Gold is down, silver is down, the S&P is down, everything is down. But what it triggered the whole cascade was this. It's like a dot-com bubble burst, but a little bit different, because in the dot-com bubble, the reason why it burst is because there was nothing behind the
Right.
Right?
And there was a buildup of value.
Exactly. Here you have no real products, real revenues, real services, real companies who have been for decades serving. Think about DocuSign. What are they gonna do, right? Because soon people will start realizing that I do not need any SaaS. I can just ask the AI to make me the little tool and as long as I don't want to sell it, and as long as I don't need Stripe or customers or crazy security, as long as this is just for me, it's going to work. And I just have to pay.
All you need is to use standards, and it knows how to sign.
Exactly. So at that level, all these companies are gone. And bro, if we go to the market right now, look at Bitcoin. It went all the way down to 60. My wife was watching it, and she saw it at 63. And she was like, we should buy Bitcoin. For the first, my wife, and I'm like, are you sure you want?
Your wife is one that was yelling at you, don't buy.
You want to buy Bitcoin? He's like, do you see the price? Now it's cheap. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, buy. And she bought it. She went to Binance, did the little KYC, and I helped her. Bro,
I-
she hit the buy button and I just waited. I was like, I know what's gonna happen. She hits the buy button and then it starts to go down. I'm just like, what's happening? Now it's at like 58. And I'm like, welcome to I sent her a message. I got her on back. Welcome to Bitcoin. And rule number 1 of crypto: when you buy, it will continue to go down. When you sell, it's gonna go up. And if you hodl, it goes sideways. If you do nothing, it just goes sideways. It's almost as if it's waiting for you. The market is waiting for you. Oh,
psychology.
Manny sold. Let's send it. So, but right now everything is going down. Everybody is running to get cover, and it feels like there is no bottom. To me, it's like been there, done that. Got here in 2013. That's when I first started following crypto, became a Bitcoin miner. And since back then, I have seen Bitcoin died, supposedly, like 1,000 times, right? But we just see this 200 EMA acting as a magnet. So we saw that it came almost to touch it. I wish it came all the way down. It didn't. So I am expecting another leg down. We could go below. But that is expected. This is anything around this zone is just a buy zone. Just keep in mind, guys, that we may, shop sideways before we go up again. We may shop sideways until autumn, right? Until the end of the year. So don't expect, especially with all the craziness happening around.
Fast upswings.
Oh no, it's not gonna happen. And the market needs to shake out all that hopium that came out of the ETF. We didn't get a proper all system, so the 4-year cycle is broken. There's many things that are happening in the crypto space, but just know that right now, everything that is going down, it was triggered by the software stock sell-off. That's what took it all down. And we're just waiting. Silver, everything is down. Silver went all the way back, all the way to 125. But this market is broken. This market, the paper price is completely disconnected right now from the physical price.
Yes.
So that's what we see on the screen. Next week is going to be historic, because everybody's asking themselves, for how long can this disconnection continue? Because there's like 300 ounces of paper silver for every 1 ounce of physical silver, right?
Yeah.
And that it finally came to Papa. That finally came and broke, and I think that people will go to jail for this, or should go to jail. But
there's going to be a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money, and particularly in this case, the perceived value of silver was shooting up as the demand for more computing power for AI was going up, and everybody was saying, well, this is how it's going to, we need more silver. But nobody's looking at the real solutions, because, again, to me, that's the same move that Anthropic is doing. Let's just throw more memory at the problem, and these guys are just throwing more silver at the problem. And that's not the real solution. The real solution is the people that are looking at nano turbines to supercool the silicon to supercool the digital circuits, there's now people that are saying, when we build the digital circuit, let's leave channels so that the cooling, if it's liquid cooled, so the liquid can move in between the circuits, so they can cool it off, and then we don't need to use silver. So to me, there are two things. One is, you saw, some years ago, copper hit this huge upswing, and people were like taking homes.
They were stealing. They were stealing
the wire out, right?
Even the Tesla charger cables, they were stealing those.
Yes, and so that situation needed to get rectified, but I think that in some degree, people were seeing something similar to this with silver, that, oh, it's going to go crazy. And then it did get a whole bunch of speculation. And at the end of the day, you only have so much physical silver that can go around. And I think the smart people should be betting on the technologies that are going to make it so that you don't have to use silver at that level, right? So not at those amounts. Obviously, silver is the most conductive.
Bet on the physical. Don't
on the physical, yes.
On the physical, because that's needed. I started accumulating silver back in 2019. Back then, it was more about COVID worries and all the craziness about COVID, and since then, I just once a month got like 2 ounces, and
wow,
boy, I'm so glad I did. I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
now,
I have.
Granted, that's why I love crypto so much, and I have been in crypto for so long, because if I wanted to sell it, that's going to take some effort. Versus if I wanted to sell any of my crypto, I just click a button, right?
Done.
And it's done. But other than that, I think that those who, the boomers and the gold bugs were made fun of for a long time, and now they're having a blast, right?
Yes.
All of them. Mm-hmm. You see Peter Schiff taking shots at Bitcoin on the timeline and feeling empowered, because they finally, right? So many years holding, finally it's paying off. But I do believe that the demand is going to continue to go up on all the minerals, because now there's a new buyer. That's what people don't understand when it comes to energy. There's a new buyer. The new buyer is AI. That's the new buyer. But there's a hungry buyer. That buyer is more hungry than us humans. That's the real problem, because we are, as humans, we're energy hungry, right? But we were able to develop a rhythm of growth, right, in which as the population grew, the energy demands were satisfied. Now these data centers are growing at a level that soon is going to start competing with retail. That's what people are not seeing. So now you got Anthropic shows up to your state local energy and it says, I'm going to pay you 2 cents per hour per kilobyte more. But you need to give me priority on the line. What do you think is going to happen to your house? You're going to start seeing your lights flicker. It's going to start with a flicker, right?
All those little configurable meters that they installed 2 years ago all over the U.S. are going to start cutting power every so many minutes.
Exactly, and it's going to start, the man hours, and they're just going to put it to you during the morning and during the afternoons, and then during the middle of the day they will, I already see, because there's so much energy. The only guy I see, although I don't like him too much, because finally, it turns out he did wanted to go to the Epstein Island after all. He lied to us. But Elon is trying to put satellites on space, or close to the sun. Let's not even call it space. We don't even know where he's putting them. He's just telling us he's shooting into space. But have you been there? Have you seen it? Right? But, he's getting, if you put something up there that is closer to the sun, right? Yeah. And it doesn't require land. It doesn't require, now it's floating in the air, whether it's orbiting on space or in a balloon, whatever choice, it doesn't matter. Now you can capture that sun energy more efficiently. And I just see the potential for decentralized applications like mining operations, but also AI. That could be the real solution, because up there you can put so many solar panels, right? But then how do you shoot that energy down?
How do you pass it on? Eric, what happens when there's enough of them that they block the sun below?
And now we don't get, but that's the thing. But all I'm saying is that I don't think anybody that is building solutions on Earth, that is land-based solutions, they're not going to be able to build energy production fast enough to supply that demand. If it's all about shooting satellites, I can shoot enough because it's just shoot after I got them built. But if it's like I need a field, I need to set them up, I need to actually, the batteries, the whole 9 yards of what is energy production on land. So they're gonna come after our energy. They're gonna come after your house. Maybe not in the. They're gonna go after other countries first. Maybe.
Well, hopefully, what they do is they do, energy programs. They put solar panels on all the roofs and start there rather than attacking so much, right? The give incentives to the people to generate the power. Go take over these states like Arizona, New Mexico, down south, where there's big places where they can't grow anything because it's too dry, but it's hot enough. I mean, we got a big.
Hot enough.
Yeah, I mean, you got big areas in different parts of the world that are very open and have zero use. They can't sustain, really can't sustain life, but they could sustain.
But still, the amount of time that it takes to build and deploy versus the rate of growth, because now every month you got a new release of a new model that needs so much more water, that it needs so much more energy, right? You're like, wait a minute, right? So at some point, the energy company will not be able to produce more, everything's sold out. Now we're in a bidding war with companies and deep pockets. That is what I see going into the future near to us if we don't find a solution for the energy problem. Everything else, the chips, the hardware, in my mind, the silver or transmission, everything else is solved. It will get solved eventually, but you need to power all of that.
Yeah,
and then you have a competing technology that is also an emerging technology. Although actually they're kind of going on par. The thing is, like, AI just finally got to a level in which we feel like it's AI, but AI has been around. Things actually.
Oh yeah, sure.
Maybe even before blockchain was around, right? Machine learning algorithms, the early ones.
But I guess it depends on whether you consider
whatever you call AI,
whatever you call blockchain, right? Because there were blockchain-like technologies in use also really early on. Yeah,
exactly. So 2009 is when we consider the switch, right? Where we level up. We have the first public decentralized blockchain, right? That's Bitcoin.
And you had Stanford in 2007 doing the sentiment analysis.
Yeah, but those were
models
on AI. Yeah, exactly. So, but it's the GPT era what we consider now. I feel like I'm speaking to the computer, right? So that's why for humans, this 2023 is the year that we feel things moved. So now you had Bitcoin fighting for energy with all the miners already becoming a big issue in the energy sector. Now AI comes in, and then Nvidia has gone bananas about building chips, and everything is. I just see everything as just an energy hungry, right? That just want to suck.
Everybody's pulling energy.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to watch Netflix because they're gonna all that energy. And, maybe on my phone.
You can't say Netflix, Manny. I was talking to my kids and I said something about Netflix, and they're like, "Dad, we don't watch Netflix. Who watches Netflix anymore?"
It's cringe, yeah. For the
who does, right? But they're more glued to YouTube and these mini videos, right? They're more into the short streams than anything else.
TikTok has now mini series that you can watch it in very short, like in 1 minute. So think about 1 minute episodes. I'm watching one about like a parody to The Office, but it's about the Turning Point in USA debacle. They call it the headquarters. It's like a 1 minute cartoonish AI made, bro. So fun. Right, so I get it.
And I look at my kids there, and they're like, I'm like, you guys want to go to the movies? They're like, that's too long. I'm like, what do you mean that's too long? No, I'll just wait till the shorts come out.
We're old. We're old. And watch this episode. Most people will watch just the clips. They're not gonna sit down and watch the whole.
These guys talking. They talk too much.
Yeah, what the hell is boomers speaking shit about AI? No, but I found a video that kind of summarized what is the sentiment of the market right now. I think it's amazing. This guy does a great job about how the OGs in crypto feel like. Check it out.
Once again, crypto is over. People are quitting left and right. Bodies left on the street. Fear runs rampant. The Chinese billionaires got more to sell. The boomers are gonna sell everything. Well, probably. And then we'll die a little bit more. But that's okay. Because we've died before. And we'll die again.
Okay.
I just love his facial expressions.
And we'll die again, my man. We have died before. I will die again, man. And then he has another one.
He looks like he's not dying.
Oh no, bro, he's a great. I love his channel, man. I follow him on X. He's great. He has another one that came out the other day where he's like, you should buy here. You know, this is a great price. I wish I could buy more, but I am out of dust. Buying. I bought everything at the tippy top, 125. You know how it is, right? I bought at the top. But you should buy.
You should buy at the bottom.
You should buy at the bottom. And the guy is great. But yeah, man, the crypto market is down. But you worry not, guys, because, you know, if you want to have a way to manage your finances in an easy way, you can always use the DeGen Wallet. The DeGen Wallet is how banking gets fixed. It's one app. Infinite possibilities. You can swap, you can stake, you can borrow, you can dump all your tokens at once using the DeGen Wallet. If you want to join the decentralized generation, I got 3 words for you. That's freedom, speed, and power. That's what the DeGen Wallet brings to the table. So you can do cross-chain swaps, you can do fiat on and off ramps, you can do Aave lending, you can do Lido staking. You can do everything that you want with the DeGen Wallet. So download it today and don't miss out on it. My man.
Hallelujah.
My man, have you seen the ads have you seen the Super Bowl ads?
I heard about them. I actually didn't take time to watch them.
Man, check this out. They got like 6, but here I'm gonna show you the best spree, man. The best spree.
Okay.
These companies are pretty wild. Check it out.
I feel like I'm just going in circles. Is my essay making a clear argument?
Absolutely. Your point of view is fresh, well thought out, and rich in research.
I didn't use too many quotes.
Absolutely not. Your quotes help build a thought-provoking piece. From our previous conversation, I've noticed that the deadline for this essay is due today. So why not cherish this unforgettable occasion with Luna Memento jewelry, with 10% off charms this weekend?
What?
Place your order today for free personalized engraving.
What's the difference between
That's in the middle of.
Man, that's crazy. It's like, what? But check this out, man. They got pretty creative. What's the difference between me and you?
Hey, can I get a 6-pack quickly?
Perfect. That is a clear and achievable goal.
Absolutely.
Would you like me to tailor a personalized workout plan?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me personalize this for you. Let's start with your age, weight, and height. Whenever you're ready.
5'7", 23 years old, 140 pounds.
Got it. I'll create a plan that focuses on aesthetic strength training. But confidence isn't just built in the gym. Try Step Boost Max, the insoles that add 1 vertical inch of height and help short kings stand tall.
What?
What?
Use code HEIGhtMaxing10 for big discounts.
Oh, my man. Oh man. What's the difference between me and you? You want a six pack? What do you need? Some height, my man. A six pack will do nothing for you, man. All right, check this out. I got one more.
It's been a while.
14 months. But who's counting? Rekindling physical intimacy after prolonged disconnection is challenging, but achievable. First, remove performance pressure. Consider scheduling intimacy windows. Tuesday and Saturday evenings work for most couples.
That actually sounds reasonable.
However, if mutual desire can't be restored, use PassionLink Premium. PassionLink discreetly connects you with compatible partners nearby.
I'm sorry, what?
PassionLink offers a money-back guarantee if you remarry within 18 months.
Man, this is crazy. When I first saw that they were going to do ads, that's the first thing that came to mind. Exactly that. So they're not far off about what people are literally saying. But man, to see companies taking shots like this, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But check this out. Check what Sam says. Sam came out. Replying to them, and bro, check this out, man. This is a whole freaking Old Testament right here. I don't know what he was thinking. He should not have said anything. What, a competitor made an ad about you. You either respond to the only way you respond to an ad is with another ad.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah. No.
We have seen it before. McDonald's, Burger King, all these companies, they have taken shots at each other before. I even remember Burger King making fun of Ronald McDonald once, making him look like a junkie or something like that.
Show me the beef.
Yeah, but then McDonald's don't reply back with a long essay. They just shoot an ad. They try to make it better. They clap back. So that's what I was expecting. Okay, how is gonna, OpenAI clap back, bro? Look at this. Oh, this is not what we were intending. I laughed. I found it funny. I laughed, bro. Shut up. What are you doing? And granted, I think what is happening here is like now they're running around in shambles, thinking, "Oh shit, they have uncovered our strategy. What are we gonna do now? We cannot launch that model."
Fire the marketing team. Fire the marketing team. Hire a new one.
And granted, I see where Sam says there, where we are going to, it's just to be able to make it free, and it goes back to what you were saying, right? They're trying to make a general purpose AI and make it as available to as many people as possible.
Yeah,
got it. Claude and Anthropic is going after the developers, the coders, the engineers, the companies, the business. Okay.
Yeah.
So, granted, how are you going to do that? Because if you're now they're left with the old model. The new model that people were thinking was something similar to this, but then there's a big conflict of interest where depending on who's bidding is who you're going to recommend. Where in my mind, if they went the affiliate model, think about this. You let the AI recommend it was going to naturally recommend anyways. You're asking about business tools that help you improve your business. It's obvious that it's going to recommend some tools, but you stay neutral. The AI is doing the research, running a quick algorithm to do a ranking and recommending the tool. It's going to recommend 5. For all 5 of them, you should have an affiliate link.
Yeah.
As OpenAI, so that you get paid for it. Doesn't matter which one the person chooses.
Which one they look at. Yeah.
You get compensated, and that's the quote unquote ad. It doesn't feel like an ad. It's an honest, it's the same response you were going to get anyways.
Yeah.
But then, that's never going to fly because the company says, I'm willing to pay you more so that you recommend mine on stop 1 instead of stop 3, right? It's going to become an issue. They can go this route where they add relevant ads where they think it's appropriate, and in the learning process they're gonna fuck up so many times, right? That many things like what they show on the ads will show. But now there's no, we want to show ads only to the free users. Okay, you're gonna show ads only to the free users. How? You're just gonna put banners, display ads on the side of the context window? You either have it in or you have it on the side. Where else? You either gonna do that, or you're gonna just display banners. That is what people don't know, and that's also, it proves that your model is not profitable on, it's not anything new. They were also selling AI is new. It's gonna replace so much workforce. Now they're gonna pay us. Companies will be paying us to replace the workforce, right? Companies are gonna need us. Okay, and if that is how you're gonna make money, why do you need ads again?
Yeah,
because you got users. So what's happening, I think, is that they blew out of proportions. They went out, the valuations went crazy high, and now they know that even when they project, even with everybody in the world subscribed to the $20, it's not going to be enough.
Well, I think you also have to take a look at, the pressures for OpenAI, who's on their board and where their money's coming from. And I think, they have a lot of money coming from pretty big companies that have made a lot of money in the ad space. So I imagine that's one of them. On the other hand, you and I discussed the where Google's going with it, and that, maybe that is a great way to think about it, right? That they're thinking, well, Google's going to lose it, right? Because nobody's going to want to go advertise on Google as much anymore. So I think maybe that's also a way to look at how ads will be placed in the future.
What I'm surprised is that Google has not introduced ads into Gemini yet.
That's right.
Google knows more about us than has way more data than GPT. So what I'm thinking is that they're gonna let ChatGPT do the mistakes.
Yeah.
And then they launch whatever works. They launch that. Right.
But I'll tell you what, when I'm doing any product research, I do it on Gemini because it gets me way better results than I'm doing on the others. It does. Well,
if I am coding, I am on Opus. If it's something simple, Kimi 2.2. But then if I am doing research, and here is another issue. Sometimes I'm picking ChatGPT over others, but it's because I have already, since model 3.5, it's been learning about our businesses. So the problem that I have is sometimes when I ask another model, it doesn't have all that context to work from. So what I see happening soon is where these models will allow you to export your context, and you will be able to also export and import, so that you can migrate.
And I told you we're working on something under the covers that allows you to share context between AI models.
But does ChatGPT or else allows you to export your context?
You can export a whole bunch of JSON out of it. So basically, then you can recreate it somewhere.
And you rebuild it in the other side. Got it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think is going to happen. People will these models will start to allow to export, but also enable import, because you have to convince others to come over. Others will be convincing yours to go to theirs, and then it just becomes that endless cycling loop of customers.
Yeah. The stuff that we're building has to do more with, rather than export raw stuff and then import it. And now the new model has to relearn everything that was learned and make its own conclusions. We actually organized the output and the input into ideas and thoughts and notions and
Yeah,
concepts.
but that's held separately. You can have any model in the back, and your context
Any model in the back.
separately from the model that the LLM you're using. I got that part.
And that way it allows you to export a very small amount of data that the new model needs to look at and go, oh, okay, I understand what you mean. Because it basically grabs all the crap in the middle that you use when you're talking to it, and it just throws away all the part that was conversational and just sticks to the topics and the things that it needs, and then it creates these vectorized things.
Yeah, basically it's using only what it needs to save money on tokens consumption. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Can't wait to have something like that. But did you see what the 11 Labs co-founder, the CEO and CEO, he's the co-founder and CEO, Matti, how do you say that name? Stanisevski. Bro, that name, I cannot say that shit for anything. No, I cannot mention. How do you say Stanisevski? I'm sorry, my man.
We're gonna murder it, man. Sorry for.
Hey, bro. Your name is Matty. You're gonna remain Matty for the rest of your life. For me, that's it. Don't try. Don't. But he brought something very interesting that I actually agree with him, because we're working in some projects that elaborate on this, which is he says that voice will be the next big interface. We're no longer going to be interfacing with apps. The phone will be more. So we're going to go back to using, if you remember, the phone, we used to pick it up just to speak. It was invented to just go like this. It didn't have any of this before. So we're going back to that. We're going back to, we may enter just the AI we want to speak with and speak, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I'm so, you and I talked about playing around with Claudebot and stuff. And one of the things I realized is that it's really good at doing things when I'm not in front of the computer. But, I'm usually doing something with my hands, so I can't type and tell it, hey, will you do this? Will you do that? While I'm trying to get to do stuff. So I made a note on my Mac that has the voice recognition and everything else. And I made a hook so that I can just talk to it while I'm doing the dishes or whatever. And it goes goes to the Mac, gets the payload. And you would think it's slow, but it's got a normal 1 or 2 second delay. That's it. It's not.
Oh, man. It's crazy. We're building some technology here at Voice Sells Flow, because we already saw this happening, where we are basically trying to change the chatbot right here. That's why I where is it? Right here. The old chatbots that you see on websites.
Yes.
Is it with voice, right? And then allow so the website to speak. And now when you go to any website that has this technology installed, it's like having a little sales agent that you can command. Okay, tell me where is this at? Does this company does this? Can I get a quote? It's much easier, because that's the problem that I see, where sometimes you go to a website and people cannot, I don't know anything about your company, but I know what I want. I just want to know if you do what I want. That's it. And I don't want to waste time searching for all your website, all your pages, trying to figure out if you do that thing for me. So here now you can just summon a little voice agent that immediately, it cannot do it now because we're live, right? And my mic is taken over by another app. But basically, you just press this button, AI agent greets you with voice, you can hear it, and now you're speaking. You're speaking to the website.
And it doesn't feel like you're talking to an AI.
It doesn't feel like it feels like a customer, a sales agent that is there ready for you, just for you, whenever you show up. And I can ask anything. It can do quotes. It can do anything that you will want from a sales agent, of course, versus carry stuff out, right? Not in the physical world. So, but it is. Mm-hmm.
I think that the other thing that it's different, because you mentioned chatbots. One of the reasons I hated chatbots is that they're pre-programmed, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody, when they send me a chatbot, it's got a menu. And basically, it's just another menu with these
And the moment
chatbots
you
running
go
into
off
the menu.
script,
You're
that's
gone.
it. You're done.
You're gone.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
cannot do anything else, and good luck trying to summon a human.
Yes.
That's never gonna happen. Or if it happens, it takes hours many times.
Yes.
So here, even if you go off script, even if what you have is something unique and outrageous, as long as the business owner did a good job in the back training the AI about all the services and all the stuff, because that's something else that sometimes, many of these blue collar trade businesses cannot do. A plumber just lists the basic stuff that they cannot do. They many times don't think about mentioning the specialties, right? We can do specialized, for example, my brother-in-law does tile flooring and all that, but he can do special designs, and he can also do this heated floors, right? That are very complex stuff. But many of them he never put off this information on the website. But now the AI that I put on his website is trained. If anybody asks, "Oh, do you do heated floors?" Of course we do. Can we get you a quote for that? We can do this type and that type, right? And then immediately, now that customer feel all the guards are down. Okay, they do it. They can do it. Let me actually go ahead and contact them. Let me do the step of getting in the phone with a human and so that they can come measure and do the quote. Versus many times, and it happens to me when I'm looking for services, I'm just skimming websites, trying, and I'm just looking for that one thing. That's the only thing I want you to do. And if you do that, you got my attention. But many times the website cannot do that. But I found this very interesting because of what the CEO of 11 Labs were saying. So I found it interesting because we happen to be working on technology that is tackling this problem. But he just takes it a step further. It's like it's not gonna even be websites anymore.
Right.
It's just gonna be like a streaming. This is gonna be more like everything is going to be in the cloud. There's not gonna be very little processing at the device level, and this is going to be more like a receiver where you receive information and see it, and then you output commands. You're not gonna be like these. You're gonna be speaking to it. So I find that very amazing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. What else do we got going on here? Oh yes, Amazon. I was researching about Amazon because I see all kinds of talks about, Google with Gemini and OpenAI with ChatGPT, and then Anthropic
and
with
Microsoft and everybody.
And the China ones, right? You got Quen, you got DeepSeek, you got Kimi, you got all the China flavors, right? And the US flavors and the China flavors, and in all this talk, AI talk for the last 3 years, I have never seen an Amazon model came out, and the Amazon GPT, nothing. And I was wondering, how is it that these guys, there's a whole new sector that was given birth a couple of years ago, and these guys are not tackling it? Bro, I came across this news and then it started to make sense. Of course not. They don't need to. They own the infrastructure. So basically, Amazon doesn't need to have a model because all the models run on Amazon anyways.
Yeah, they are selling the shovels and the picks to the miners.
So basically, if I want to run a model, I can either buy a Mac Mini, but that's for personal use. Exactly. If I want to build anything that is production ready, customers,
you're going to need an Amazon instance
or a Google Cloud instance.
Yeah, and at that level, they compete. But we've tried Microsoft, we tried Google, and we've tried Amazon, and for some reason, we keep going back to Amazon. I'm not exactly.
The thing is, like, Amazon made it very simple for you to become a slave.
Yeah,
that word, because that's how it feels. Like you're in. It's so simple to do everything, connect, but then 3 months later you get the bill, and you're like, holy shit. But then you try to go back and try to look for other options, cloud, Microsoft, right? And then Azure, right? And then you're like, it's gonna take me 3 months just to move.
And then and the bill is not going to be that significantly different.
Actually, you know what Google is doing? They offer grants now to get people.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
they offer grants, but it's a good tactic. But at the end of the day, now it makes more sense, right? Okay, why Amazon is not trying to compete with the latest model releasing, Amazon 2.1, right, or 4.5? No, they're just let them fight. We're going to continue to build as cloud infrastructure, and the revenues continue to grow year after year. So big win for Amazon, big win for for them. They surely know what they're doing. Jeff is not falling behind. They're just not making any noise because they don't need to. That's what happened.
No, I think they know what they're doing well, and they're sticking with it, and that is a good thing to see.
Now, somebody who's not making noise, that's Google. We know that they had closed a deal with Apple, but it looks like in the last earning calls, Apple or Alphabet, the parent company of Google, declined to answer one of its investors' questions when they asked more about the Google's AI deal with Apple on Wednesday, and they declined to answer. Why do you think that could be? Why are they hiding here? Usually these companies that, big partnerships, they are quick to do a press release about it.
Yeah, and now they want that to drive the stock up.
But how?
That's what they do. That's why you release press releases and everything else. If they're not doing it, then it's suspicious. There's got to be something behind it. Maybe they're still under some sort of NDA or something that Apple's got them a little tight. I don't know.
Or maybe actually this is what they wanted to create. They wanted to create the mystery, the speculation, the intrigue. Now they think, it's going to be bigger, because if they're not speaking about it, it's because what they're going to release is going to be so big, right? And
just wait for it.
That speculation is going to drive the value up even higher. I guess that's what's going to be. Only time will tell. We are about to see, but we'll see what the future brings. Carlos, my man, it's been a true pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us one more time.
It was very fun.
One more time. It's episode 1. We have
episode 1
coming our way, and hopefully we're gonna improve. I apologize with the audience for any technical difficulties. We're trying to get the hang of it, but we think that the value that we're bringing to the table over the next few months and years is going to be amazing. So make sure that you hit the like, subscribe button, turn on that notification bell if you have not done so, because we've got great things coming to you. And without anything else, Carlos, anything that you want to say before we leave?
Adios.